What's going on, guys? This is Chris with Azrael's Pit Barbecue, and in this video we're going to be cooking a prime rib roast. This prime rib roast, as a matter of fact, it's been sitting on a dry brine a little over 24 hours now. We're cooking this tomorrow for dinner, so I'm prepping the next step, which is going to be making an au jus, or stock, or gravy, or however you want to look at it. For this video, we are not going to do a full-blown how-to step-by-step. It's a little bit involved. I am going to leave a link in the description below to AmazingRibs.com, our favorite website, and that will show you everything you need to know about this cook. So, I've already dry brined this, did most of the trim out, may do a little more trim on it tomorrow. What we need to do now is start working on our gravy, which is going to start with these beef bones and some various veg that we need to chop up, a little wine, a few other things and seasonings. So let's get right into that. Okay guys, real quick, in order to make our au jus, we're going to basically be making a stock. I got some onions in here, got some very nice reconstituted mushrooms in here, got some carrots and some celery. So I'm going to handle this stuff very quickly and throw them in my pot. This is just rough cutting, and we are not, this is all just going to get strained out later. Okay, we are going to add about 4 cups of water, a cup of red wine, three tablespoons of a soy sauce, a bay leaf, and some seasoning I have already prepared. And it's going to go on the stove. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of just separation here on these guys. Oh, that knife. There we go. We'll leave these little bits of meat on here. This is going to go into our stock. These rib bones were also brined ahead of time, so what we're going to do with these is we're going to stick them in the oven and we're going to brown them up. Then we're going to add this to our stock. Okay guys, I have got the stock on the stove top. It's going to sit there on low, basically simmer for at least 3 hours, reducing and getting all the flavors together. As soon as those rib bones come out of the oven, we're just browning them. I think I've got about 350 degrees, just browning it out. And then we may cut up some more meat off those bones once it's been cooked a little bit. I'm going to throw that into that pot, and it's just going to sit there for hours, reducing down. So basically just making a stock. When all that's done, I will drain it out, and then we'll set it aside in the refrigerator for tomorrow. What's going to happen is, as it cools in the refrigerator, the fat's going to come to the surface. We'll skim that fat off before we reheat it tomorrow. In the meantime, Got the rib roast itself is in the fridge, back in the fridge. It's continuing its salt brine, and tomorrow when we actually cook all this, we will do a reverse sear, very similar to what you've seen in the tri-tip videos and that kind of stuff. We're going to put it on the pit. I'm going to use oak wood, straight oak fire. I don't want to overpower this thing with smoke, but I basically do want to have it in a wood-fired oven. Once it's done there, we will take it to my Weber kettle grill and give it a finish off direct sear. So, we'll be back. Alright, we are back. So a little bit of a recap. We've got a prime rib, which we've been dry brining since Friday afternoon. It is now Sunday afternoon, not quite cook time yet, but we've got a little bit of prep to do. So, if you remember this was our stock we made yesterday. I made a comment about the fat cat. We're going to peel this off. This isn't going to go to waste though. We got a bag full of green beans fresh out of the garden. You know how people like to put bacon fat or that kind of stuff? We're going to use this beef fat in our green beans. It's got a bit of our seasoning flavor profile in there, and it's going to tie those green beans together with this prime rib we have here. And this is also going to make a fantastic gravy for the mashed potatoes, I am sure, that are going to find their way to our plates. So, a couple things we need to do. One, I got the prime rib here, and I want to get this rounded out so I have a nice uniform, kind of a cylinder. Cooking it like this, with these types of tapers, these ends are going to get cooked faster. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to trim this section out so I can roll it up like that. Alright guys, so let me stand this up. And you can see we've got a fat line here, and we've got this fat here. Of course, this would kind of be your eye, so your rib eye. And then we got this side. Now if we were just cutting steaks, we would just cut these off because we'd be cooking them flat like this, but we're cooking this kind of this way, so what determines our cook time is going to be our thickness here. And I want this round, and see how I can kind of make that round, but this is in the way. So I'm going to trim this off, and this is already kind of separated a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of follow this line here. I'm going to get a little bit of lean, but don't worry, this isn't going to be wasted. We'll set this aside. It can go on the grind. We'll figure out something to do with this. This isn't going to be a waste. Okay. Now, see how I can tie that up? Isn't that nice? Nice is that? Now we got a nice round surface, and what's going to be really nice about this is that it'll help it cook more uniformly, and we can actually use our measurement here. So that's roughly 5 inches, that's roughly 4 inches, we'll call it 4.5. So at 4.5, at 225-ish, this should take about 30 minutes an inch to get our center at our temperature that we want it at before we go to our reverse sear. So I'm going to plan for that. When we come back, we're going to oil this up and season it up, and we'll be ready to go to the pit. We'll be back. Okay, we're down to the cook. Here we go. We have the pit fired up. Again, I'm using an oak. I want a light smoke. I don't want a heavy smoke on this. I'm just basically looking for, again, the wood-fired oven effect. I have our stock, bam, on the stove that we made last night. Got it heating up because I don't want to be pouring cold liquid into my hot cooker. That just brings temperatures down. So I'm heating it up before it goes into a pan. Oh yeah, did I mention it was going into a pan? under this prime rib. We're going to catch the juices and whatnot as this prime rib cooks off, just to add a little more punch, a little more depth, and a little more be good. So all we got to do now is I'm going to oil up this prime rib, put my seasoning mix on it that I put together yesterday, and we're ready to cook. So let's get to it. Alright guys, I'm going to oil this beautiful roast up. Got some olive oil here. You've seen me do this multiple times. I'm basically just giving this a coating. This is going to be my binder, and it is going to help hold my seasonings on. Not going crazy. As for my seasonings, this rub mix is in the recipe from Amazing Ribs that you will see in the description below. We're just going to give her a nice coating. Don't forget about those ends. Now, I'm going a little heavier with the seasoning this time than I normally would, because I really want a nice outer crust. Keep in mind, this is going to be cut into steaks, and so you know, you just got that edge of crust against a lot of area of meat. So I want to make sure I get some good pop here. Plus, I want to catch the essence here of these seasonings as this roast sweats and drips into our pan, because this is just going to amp up that gravy. And we look at that. Fantastic. Let's go to the pit. Okay, so I know it looks like there's a lot of smoke here, and there is, but I just put some wood, fresh wood on, so this will ignite and clear up for us. If you can see, I've made a modification here, not really a modification, but I've changed some things around specifically for this cook. I took my bottom grates out and I put some bricks in, and I lowered a grate down. This was basically so I could have some room to put my pan underneath my roast. The pan's in here, and it's going to catch the drippings of the roast as it cooks and all that good stuff. So a couple of bricks are always nice to have. 4 bricks actually, to be specific. Now, I am going to put my temperature probes in here because I want to keep very close eye and have precision on when the roast itself, what temperatures it's at, and I want to know exactly where my grate is at. So we're going to do that, and then when we see you all again, we'll be cutting this thing. Alright guys, we are back. We are done. Here's our prime rib. Look at how much shrinkage has happened and how much smaller this thing is from when we began. Now that's what happens when you do some slow cooking. I'm going to cut off my ties here. Now, you may notice a little char. I believe my reverse sear coals were a bit hot. So I did get a bit char on here, more than I would have normally wanted. That's okay. One more. Not too bad, not too bad. Now we are shooting for a chef's temp medium rare of 130, and we are shooting for hopefully some bumper to bumper slices. So let me think about how I'm going to do this here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I gotta get 5 slices out of this. Here we go. The bumper to bumper. Did we get it? Oh, close, close, close. A little bit of gray, but that is absolutely beautiful. Let's see if we got a little deeper in. That's the edge piece. Oh, look at that. That is nice. That's ooh, just a touch over right there. That is beautiful. Oh, that's perfect. You got a little smoke ring on there. That's nice. Let's get this last end in a bumper. Butt end. I'm gonna lay these out for y'all. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Alright guys, that is the cook, but I gotta tell you, it ain't done, you know, until I get a little taste. So I'm gonna get in the middle here. I'm gonna take one of these guys. I'm gonna cut a piece off of it off the edge. Oh, it's nice and tender. Let's see what we got. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Mmm. Hmm. That's perfect, man. Perfect salt. Seasoning's good. I'm not catching any type of burnt flavor. Man, we're gonna eat these. Got some au jus ready to go. Got some teddies ready to go. Sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full. And we got some green beans ready to go. Baby, we got some iced tea ready to go. So we're gonna get on it. This is Chris with Azrael's Pet Barbecue. If you like this short video on prime rib, please hit that like button. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Keep that smoke rolling.